Hey everyone, welcome back. We are doing a quick video here talking about something I'm pretty excited to talk about. And it's kind of weird because it's a topic I didn't think in my lifetime I'd ever get to talk about again. And that is this idea, this rumor, this belief that I wholeheartedly believe, something I'm almost positive is going to happen, and that is the return, the reboot, the redoing of a Marvel and DC crossover comic. There are a couple hints in recent stories from both publishers that lead me to believe this. First off, we'll start with the big one that came out first, and that is Doomsday Clock number 12, the finale of that, referencing the Marvel Universe in terms of Superman fighting a Thor-like character and a Hulk-like character in a secret crisis that was coming down the line. Geoff Johns is the guy to do that. I think he's perfect for it. But also at Marvel, we got a guy that's perfect for it who references the same kind of thing. In his book, Thor number 2, Donny Cates has the literal DC universe become darkened by this black winter effect that's coming to the Marvel universe now. So here's a few things I want to talk about. What is the likeliness of this happening? How is it going to happen in the comics? And what I think should be done after in the comic books to keep this kind of thing going. First off, it would not surprise me in the slightest if Geoff Johns had an idea to do this kind of book 5 years, 10 years from now, because this is right up his alley of doing a big event in comic books that's going to get a lot of people excited. That's what Doomsday Clock was, but editorial kind of messed him up on that, and things were postponed and scheduling stuff kind of messed it up. And I could just see him being like, I have this idea now, I'm not going to give it to them yet, because I just want everything to be prepared first before we get into this and actually do it. And on the same note, I could see DC and Marvel maybe taking his idea and doing it earlier than he wants with a different creative team. Now I think if you're going to do this with Marvel, a guy to do it's Donny Cates. I like Donny Cates a lot. I think he has the ability to tell this kind of story. And let's be real, guys. Let's be real for a second here. You get the references in Doomsday Clock, you get the references in Thor, it gets people talking about the comic books, it's get people interested in more of that kind of stuff. Comics, they don't sell great. They have a niche market. We're not talking about millions of dollars being at play here. We're at most talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars being at play, and it's not that big. But if you were to take the biggest companies and have them come back together now, when popular culture is obsessed with superheroes in our films and on our television, you're gonna sell a lot of copies. Even from people who don't regularly buy comic books every week. Because that's what they want from these things. Do you know why people get excited when a new actor joins a big franchise like Fast and Furious or John Wick? It's because we love the crossover element of this kind of stuff. And when you got these two big companies who they're at the top of their markets, but even so, indie comics and independent stuff of comic book, graphic novel stuff, it's catching up to them. Now it's not gonna be the big sale that is DC or Marvel, but if you combine all the indie comics sold over a year, they'll average about half of the market in terms of DC and Marvel. If DC and Marvel are 50%, indie comics are probably about 50% of that too. So if these two big companies want to stay relevant and want to stay popular, yeah, you gotta cross over, you gotta do it. I wholeheartedly believe we are going to be getting this crossover within the next 3 to 4 years. Is that gonna be Secret Crisis that they've kind of been teasing? I don't think so. I think Secret Crisis is going to be what Scott Snyder's working on, doing that whole new encore to metal. That's what I think the Secret Crisis is going to be, and that's what's going to reboot 5G. What I think this is going to be is we're going to have a big circumstance that's going to impact both comics. And I took the liberty of writing down a few things I think we could use as the way to bring the DC universe to Marvel, or the Marvel universe to DC Comics. These are in no particular order of what I think is going to happen or what could happen. I'll just give out a few ideas. Alright, so I got 3 from Marvel, I got 3 from DC, and then I got 1 that both could do together as the launching off point to a bigger idea. Okay, let's start with DC. We already know that the Source Wall is like a big deal at DC right now. Scott Snyder wanted to do something grand with it, and if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Grant Morrison say Beyond the Source Wall should be Marvel Comics? Because once you get past that barrier, anything is possible. Let's do it. If that's the case, and if that's something people are actually thinking should happen, let's cross the barrier and just get in there and put them in there, and it's perfect. You don't even have to explain it, because say you're reading Encore. Say we're reading the finale of Encore, we break through the source wall, it's Batman and it's Superman and it's Wonder Woman standing there, and they just enter onto the streets, and who shows up just swinging by? Spider-Man. You're gonna have so many people lose their minds and seek that issue, and you can launch into a bigger event there too. I think it's a great idea. The source wall one actually seems the most likely to me, but I got other stuff, guys, so let's talk about them quickly too. I have down here Dark Multiverse stuff with Tempest, Fugonaut, Tempest, whatever the hell its name is. Just have him be a watcher of that universe, or a member of the Living Tribunal, or something like that, and then just throw him like, hey, I came to this dimension, I also know this dimension, here's the Dark Multiverse, a part of that stems from the Marvel Universe too. Maybe Marvel Zombies is the same thing that kind of happened in DCeased. That could be part of it too, you never know. And my last one for DC, Speed Force. Like, the Speed Force can go out through time and space, I think, so what if we're just going into the Speed Force, and okay, I don't know what the name of it is in the Marvel Universe, but it's kind of like that thing that Quicksilver went into. How amazing would it be if the way we bring DC over to Marvel is Quicksilver in the Speed Force? Now, this isn't likely at all because it's really stupid, but just imagine Quicksilver being the character to get us to DC because he's stuck in the Speed Force, he doesn't know what it is, and maybe he sees Barry Allen, maybe he sees Jay Garrick, maybe he sees Wally West because Wally West is getting weird. Maybe Wally West enters the Speed Force, pulls out who he thinks is a speedster from a different dimension, and it's Quicksilver. I think that'd be cool. Wouldn't that be cool, guys? I like it. I like it. Couple more ideas here. These ones are from Marvel, which I think they're least likely because Marvel isn't good at the big scope kind of stuff when it's this. Krakoa. I have Krakoa. I don't know. Maybe one of the gates opens up in the DC universe and just confuses people. You don't even have to explain it. What's the point in explaining it? Just have one of the gates of Krakoa show up and do things there. Maybe we discover that metahuman's a form of mutant on that world, and we could have maybe a main character in the DC comics kind of become a mutant when they go onto the other Earth. You know, kind of how like Marionette and Mime did when they came to the DC comics one in Doomsday Clock. Maybe if we have somebody like Dick Grayson go over to the Marvel Universe, he discovers that he's got certain powers there because he's a mutant. Just throw Krakoa in there, it's weird, and do it. Another one for Marvel, Franklin Richards. This is a weird one, I don't know why I put this one on here. Franklin Richards can create universes. Maybe he is Tempest Fugonaut. And this one, stemming to my boy over here, the Green Door. Yes, Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk, the Green Door, maybe that is the key to unlocking more things happening in the DC universe. Maybe, you know, certain character. I'm trying to think of like a DC character that could kind of be like a Hulk radioactive guy, Atomic Skull, Solomon Grundy, Metallo maybe. Some of those characters, maybe that could be the way. Maybe we have one of these, Deadman, we could have one of these characters die, or it could even be John Constantine. Somebody stuck in hell and they see the Green Door and they go through it, and that leads them to the Marvel Universe. And it starts to become confusing because then what happens there? Out of all these options, I really do think it's going to be the Source Wall, because we're going to get through the Source Wall and we're going to see Spider-Man and Iron Man and Wolverine just standing there. I really think that's what's going to happen. But I have another pitch for you guys because synergy is important. Who's got a movie coming out that's important on both sides? Who's got a movie coming out that takes godlike characters and tries to put them into the modern world? Well, first off, DC's got New Gods and Marvel's got Eternals. Cross them over. Just make the Eternals and New Gods related somehow. It's gonna make each of those relevant in the comics again, because I know everybody wants that. I hate the Eternals, don't like them at all. I'm mixed on the New Gods. I only like Miracle and Barda. And kind of I got feelings for Light Ray because he looks cool. Just do that, that's easy, right? You just get those characters, have them connect in some way. Maybe Icarus, or somebody is a new god, or just something stupid like that. Like just, cause synergy in movies, we gotta do it, right? It's what people want, it's how we make good comics. So just do that and stop trying to make the Eternals happen without DC, because that's how you'll make it happen. So guys, I really do think we are going to be getting a crossover in the near future. I think Donny Cates is going to be working on it, and I think Geoff Johns has an idea for it. Now here's a pitch I have. You want to boost up comic book sales, you want to get more new readers in, here's my pitch. Could be every month, could be every 2 months, every 3 months. Do it in the seasons. You get a creative team of whoever you want, because I'm sure every creator, an artist, a writer, a letterer, an editor, everybody out there has probably got an idea for a certain DC character and a certain Marvel character to cross over in a book. So I call it amalgam team up. You take one character from DC, one character from Marvel, you write a short story in comic book about that character, and then you're done. Both of them can publish it, you can do variant copies and variant covers. The variant cover for DC could focus on the one character, the variant cover for Marvel could focus on the other character, and then you get a creative team of whoever they want. If one person wants to team up with a different artist, just have them write a quick book, one book, you put it out there, everyone is gonna want to read it because it's Batman and Silver Surfer, it's Green Arrow and Iron Fist, it's Captain Marvel and Shazam. It's everyone that you'd ever want. If you're just like, hey, let's put Captain America going up against Lex Luthor in like some weird political thing, do that. If you want the Joker to fight Sabretooth, do that. You just do whatever you want, and it would be cool and fun. And it's not like you're gonna pump it out every week. You just like, here's the kind of the oversized book for this month. It's Spider-Man and he's going against Vixen, and Kraven the Hunter might go after them. That's the story. That's how you do it. I think that would sell well. And it also shows that the companies could get along good and just do more than just a crossover event. It's like, we exist near each other. We can't exist alone. If Marvel absorbed DC, it'd all fold under. So do something like this, and you could get a lot more people reading comic books. So that's my little talk for this time. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Like the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Patreon for more content exclusively there. And let's hope the source wall leads us to more amalgam comics in Geoff Johns we trust.